Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate that. If you're not already a subscriber, take one little second, click right down below, because trust me, there's no telling what you're going to see on this channel. You can depend on seeing a Publix video on Wednesdays though. But first, let me start off by saying a huge thank you to Glacier Fresh for sponsoring this video. They reached out a while back and sent us a really cool reverse osmosis water filtration system. It goes under the counter. It needs no electricity, saves space because it's not going to be sitting on top of the counter. It will leave you with great tasting water, wonderful clear TDS water results, and easy DIY installation. No need to hire a professional. The professional in this case is going to be my husband, who will be installing this awesome reverse osmosis water filtration system for you, and we will get to him in just a second. So stay tuned. Let's get this puppy installed and give the water a taste. Hold on. Okay, everybody, here is my husband Wes. Say hey.
How you doing?
Here is the Glacier Fresh. This is the filter unit. It's got 3 filters in it. It attaches with a magnet, and he's going to take you through what all is in the box.
First off, I'm a pretty handy guy. I mean, I really am. And the only question I had was about which one's hot, which one's cold. So laying the way I have it sit on the counter right now with the on off, the small on and off to the right, the big one to the left, you should have cold water, hot water, and your pure water right here. And you've got to attach your own hoses. So that's what we'll start with. The cold should be the one with the blue stripe. That's just simply slides in, and I'm just going to spin it up till I get it close. Well, I said it was.
Maybe.
Maybe. Did it start that time? Yeah, okay. It did start that time, people. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now, somewhere in here, I thought they sent a little tool to this. I don't see it now, right now. It's okay. Nearest I can figure, you just get them good and hand tight, and you should be okay. We'll check it because they do have gaskets on them over.
Oh, the one thing that we noticed that is not included, you want to tell them that?
Yeah, this is a single hole. You'll have to have a 1-inch electrical trade size hole saw, which is 1 3/8 inches. And you'll have to drill the center hole where the old faucet used to be. And if Michelle will pause this for a second, she'll walk into the room and show you.
We'll show you that when we get over
When I had to put 2 plugs in there. The next one is the hot.
If you have a standard 3-plug sink, then you're going to have to plug 2 holes and drill a new one.
They do not send a blank to cover the holes. That's the only drawback we have found so far.
Okay, and there's the pure water hose. Get that one hooked up. He went ahead and took the old faucet out. So after this, we will be moving to the other room to get this sucker installed.
Okay. So laying with the little dispenser to the right,
already.
the other one to the right. You got cold on the bottom, hot, and your other one. That's it.
And they have all the accessories you need in the box. They even include some little white gloves. They just do not include a plate for the top of your sink.
And I'm not being mean, but these are not man size, so give them to your wife and tell her to garden with them.
See you in a second.
This piece, this is what holds your faucet. It's threaded on the inside. You have to back these 2 screws out. Unscrew it off. Set it to the side, don't throw it away. Then you take this piece, rubbers and all, just like it is, slide on the hoses, It's going to be a tight fit. I'll tell you that. It will go. Then you start this. Don't pinch the washers. I almost did that. Then just kind of snug it with your hand. After that, you grab it. And depends on which way you want it to sit. You can do it with the little one to the left. I'm going to set mine in like this, okay, so you can see it physically. You drop the hoses through the cabinet, down, and it's in. You'll also notice the two plugs. That's what we had to do to this sink. We will get a plate made, and I will take it back apart later on.
Okay, yep.
All right, you got this split lock nut with 2 screws in it. Looks just like that right there. Back those 2 screws out. Take them with the screws facing down, slide it through your plumbing pipes, which will actually slide through it. I just figured that out. And go up. You're going to have your significant other or somebody hold down on the faucet.
I take that as a hint.
Yeah, that's a big hint.
Okay.
And then you've got to start the John Brown thing. And
there we go.
If you're like me, I'm saying dirty words under my breath. I apologize for saying that. But trying to get it started, and I'm trying to use it left hand. I am not left-handed, so we're doing good. It's just we have a deep sink. You may not experience this. That was one of the screws. I'll get it back. It's right here. Okay, come on now. Hey, Paul. Look at there. All right, then you run it up against the sink, and you will not have to tighten it way down because the screws will take care of that. I caught the other screw. I backed them out too far, but that's okay. That sound is me running that washer that you just saw up against the plastic. Okay. If you have a porcelain sink, you'll crack it if you get them too tight. So just snug both of them up very well. Now, water lines. Mine are marked with a red and a clear. The red would be your hot, and the clear would be your cold. Now, we did go to Home Depot and buy these new shutoffs because I didn't trust the old ones. And they're already 3/8 end. Ours is 1/2 inch PEX to 3/8. Now that is Shark Bite, and they're about 13 bucks a piece. They're not horrible, but the nice thing about them is I can now just screw their supply lines right in. I'm going to hand the phone back. You take the feed water tube, which is white according to their directions. You simply shove it in till you hear it click, pull up, make sure it's in. You don't have to go crazy, but you want to make sure. Now, for the sake of what we're doing filming, nope, just one at a time. The drink water tube needs to run inside. So in order for me to actually get this filmed correctly, I'm going to try to slide this unit in. Oh. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to try to put this thing in the bottom of the camera. Hey there. Sorry for the interruption. We had a problem that you probably aren't going to have. We have a very deep sink, as you can see, and I had to do a little clearancing. Of course, I've got to still fix my mat back, but I had a hard time getting it in there. But the main water line plugs in on the left side of the unit looking at the front, and you barely can see it back there in the back. Rolls around, goes in, and you push it in and tighten the nut on that adapter. I'm going to try to turn the adapter a little bit so you can see it. There it is. And tighten that up, and that will take care of your water feed. Do not turn the water on at this point on either one. we'll get ready in a minute and I'll show you round two. This is a tip they don't give you. I happen to have some Teflon tape and you probably can't see it, but it's on there since it's a white fitting.
Hold it up here.
When you put Teflon on, put it on reverse of the threads. That way when you're going forward, it stays on. I know that doesn't sound right, but you'll understand. Wrap it backwards. Then when you're going forward, your Teflon will stay on. Okay. I did it because I didn't want my cabinet full of water. And then, of course, your blue hose that you put in, I think they call that the drink hose. It plugs in, it's real simple, just pops right in one of the fitting just like this on top of the unit. And then you'll just insert it into here after you screw this on to the hose coming down from the faucet. It's the smaller, shorter hose. Okay, we're back. The white hose is installed, and that's where it goes. The blue hose ties in with that adapter. I told you I put some Teflon tape on, and then it just plugs in. And then they both roll over here and plug into the top of the unit. You got one little rubber piece stuck up there now. We're going to remove it, and that will be your drain. And in a second or two, I'll show you how that works. I'm just leaving this on for a minute so you can kind of get an idea. Okay, in the kit it comes like this with two nuts. I took those two nuts off. You have to unscrew both bolts because they have it packaged. They did a good job, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of flaws I found, but nothing crazy. And this will wrap around your drain pipe. You will have to drill a 1/4 inch hole in order to get this in the drain pipe. And your red hose you have left will tie here and into the slot marked drain. In just a few minutes, I'll show you how to drill the hole and take care of that. I wanted to get it apart so I could show you. That's what it looks like when it's just sitting there not bolted on. Basically, it just slides right over your pipe. And you're gonna have to measure and drill a 1/4 inch hole in that so it will go in your drain. Do not forget one important step. You have to turn this over, and I'm gonna show you. Hold that on that. My wife's holding it for me. You get the backing off, and you have to put this gasket right over that hole just like that, and it sticks. It's sticky sided. I took the little backing off, and now you can drill your 1/4. You'll just take a Sharpie or something and go right through this hole and mark your pipe, and you'll drill a 1/4 inch hole. And then afterwards, I'll show you after it's drilled and what we got. I wanted to get it apart so I could show you. That's what it looks like when it's just sitting there not bolted on. Basically, it just slides right over your pipe. And you're gonna have to measure and drill a 1/4 inch hole in that so it will go in your drain. Do not forget one important step. You have to turn this over, and I'm gonna show you. Hold that on that. My wife's holding it for me. You get the backing off, and you have to put this gasket right over that hole just like that, and it sticks. It's sticky sided. I took the little backing off, and now you can drill your 1/4. You'll just take a Sharpie or something and go right through this hole and mark your pipe, and you'll drill a 1/4 inch hole. And then afterwards, I'll show you after it's drilled and what we got. I'm going to use a 3/16 drill bit, or an 1/8. I think it might be an 1/8. You're supposed to drill it a 1/4. That's 1/4 inch. That's probably 3/16. I don't know. I didn't look. But I don't have a way to mark it. So in order for me to do this, I'm going to hold it steady right here and make a hole. There's the little marked hole right there, so I know it'll cover. Then swap out to the 1/4 inch bit. There you go. And do not go all the way through, and go in gently, because this stuff's not made out of a whole lot, and you'll end up with a hole on the other side, and you're just going to have water going everywhere every time the sink runs. So you take the back half, stick it on the back. Front half goes on the front. Remember the washer, don't forget to put it on. Bolts go in. Bolt goes in. You put your nuts on the back. And I'm going to cheat. I have an impact with a Phillips bit.
Cheater, cheater.
I'm going to ask my wife to sneak back just a little bit so I can sneak in the cabinet.
Get those tightened up, and we'll be back. Okay, here comes the last little plug.
All right, in the center, there's one left. It's where the red hose goes. That's your drain. I got it plugged in there. And then I'm just going to wrap mine, and I think I'm going to cut a little off. If you guys have a pair of cutters or a really sharp knife, you can do this, because I think I'm going to have a little bit too much slack. So what we're going to do is, where are my cutters at?
I have no idea.
There they are. Okay. Excuse me a moment. Lost my cutters. Had to find them. This is a very large pair. They're a little too big, but if
Overkill there.
you just cut it, it's done. And then simply make sure it's flat and plug it right in, just like that. And you have a drain. And this is what it should look like when you're done. You should have a white, red, and a blue facing out towards the filters. Your red is your drain. The white is the feed coming off. Please make sure you turn off their unit with down like I have it now, because if you don't, you're going to get a face full of water if you turn the main on. Then the connection up here to the blue hose, please put Teflon tape on that fitting, tighten it up with 2 pairs of pliers, channel locks, whatever you got, but make sure it's snug. Make sure all your connections are plugged in good. Your drain, I just tighten the bolts up, you can see them on the back, and make sure it's good and tight. When you're doing the drain, after you get your hole marked through, just look through it and line up. You can actually see daylight from the drain up top, and you'll be able to line it up with the hose and tighten it up. Don't over tighten it. It is just plastic. Make sure the gasket was in it. I know I speak out of turn sometimes, but these are things that happen when you're in a hurry. And when you're completely done, if you'll hand me the cover, dear, when you're completely done, you should be able to put your cover back on, and your system should look just about like that. And the upper came out looking very nice. Once again, the only drawback to it is they do not make a plate. That is it. And one fitting that I had to put a washer in. Other than that, it was fairly effortlessly. We've been at it now totally of about 30 minutes. It hasn't been long.
We let the filtered side run for 20 minutes, just like the instructions said. And now, since he did all the hard work installing the unit, we're going to let him be the one to taste this awesome filtered water. See what he thinks.
Before I do, I'd like to commend them. Their faucet, the actual faucet part is really nice. You get great water pressure. Hot comes on very quickly. Cold work switches right over. And you really do have good pressure out there. I mean, that's knockdown drag out.
We've never had water pressure that good in this sink.
And then the filtered water comes out very quickly.
Oh, nice.
You have to be kind of careful with that too. I'm going to empty that one back out, but we're going to try this.
Okay, let's see what this tastes like. Tastes like water? Does it have any
You can
taste?
you can kind of tell that it took the chlorine out of the water.
Good, because our water by itself is not very good.
We do live at the beach, so we have chlorinated water. But I've noticed also, do not get upset when you first turn this on and it just kind of runs slow. If you'll turn it on, leave it on for like 10 or 15 minutes, cut it off. Turn it on and off about 10 minutes. Just kind of let it on, let it off. Then turn it on, let it run again. I did notice that the pressure picked up pretty good. And the water's really cool. The faucet is very nice, and the water doesn't taste bad at all.
So, thank you, Glacier Fresh.
Thank you. See ya.